Blender 5.2 is almost here, and it introduces new dynamic cloth, dynamic hair, and collider systems. At first, these might look like just a few new modifiers, but behind the scenes, Blender is introducing a brand new XPBD Solver that powers these systems. While this technology is still experimental, it could become the foundation of Blender's future physics tools. So in this video, we'll take a look at the new cloth, hair, and collider systems, test some of their features, and see what makes this update so exciting. Let's start with dynamic cloth. First things first, let's create a simple setup to compare the old and new cloth systems. I'll start by adding a plane and scaling it up slightly. Next, let's increase the geometry by subdividing the mesh a few times in the edit mode. Add a UV sphere underneath to collide with it. Now I'll duplicate the plane and sphere so that we have identical objects to work with. For the plane on the left, I'll use Blender's existing cloth system. Select the plane, go to the Physics Properties tab, and add Cloth Physics. Next, select the sphere underneath and add Collision Physics. Now, if I play the simulation, the plane falls naturally and collides with the sphere. And for the plane on the right, I'll use the new Dynamic Cloth modifier. Select the plane, go to the Modifiers tab, and add the Dynamic Cloth modifier. Keep in mind that this feature is still experimental. Next, select the sphere underneath and add the new Collider modifier. This is another new feature introduced in Blender 5.2. Unlike the old workflow, collision behavior can now be added directly through modifiers. If we run the simulation now, you'll notice that the plane falls straight through the sphere without colliding with it. That's because the new system requires us to specify which effectors should affect the simulation. To do that, first press M and move the UV sphere into a separate collection. Next, select the plane and open the Effectors panel in the Dynamic Cloth modifier. Then choose the collection that contains the UV sphere. Once that's done, play the simulation again. This time, you'll see the plane fall onto the sphere and properly collide with it. At the moment, the cloth looks quite stiff and doesn't bend very much. To create a softer and more natural result, let's increase the stretchiness and bendiness values in the Dynamic Cloth modifier. Stretchiness controls how much the cloth can stretch, while bendiness affects how easily it folds and bends. Now, if we play the simulation again, the cloth behaves much more like fabric and settles more naturally on the sphere. You may have noticed a small amount of intersection between the cloth and the sphere. To fix that, select the sphere and increase the collision margin value in the Collider modifier. To give the cloth a smoother appearance, let's select both planes and add a subdivision surface modifier. Then right-click and choose Shade Smooth. At first glance, both simulations look very similar. However, the biggest difference is what's happening behind the scenes. The classic cloth system is not procedural and works as a standalone physics system. The new dynamic cloth system, on the other hand, is built on top of geometry nodes. If we take a look inside, we can see the entire simulation is driven by a node-based setup. This makes the system much more flexible and customizable. For example, advanced users can modify the node group, create custom behaviors, and build more complex simulation setups. That's simply not possible with the old cloth system. Another important difference is the solver behind the simulation. The classic cloth system is based on an older simulation framework, while the new system uses Blender's new XPBD Solver. Without getting too technical, XPBD is a modern constraint-based solver designed for simulations such as cloth, hair, ropes, and soft bodies. Instead of relying primarily on forces and springs, it focuses on maintaining simulation constraints more accurately. This can lead to more stable simulations and also provides a flexible foundation for future physics tools. One of the most interesting new features is cloth tearing. In the Dynamic Cloth modifier, enable the tearing option. Now, when I run the simulation, the cloth stretches around the object and eventually rips apart once that limit is reached. The threshold value determines how much stress the cloth can handle before it tears. This is a feature that wasn't available in Blender's classic cloth system. Overall, the new dynamic cloth system looks very promising. While it's still experimental, it already introduces a more flexible workflow, a geometry nodes-based setup, and features such as cloth tearing. Now let's move on to another major addition in Blender 5.2, dynamic hair. Just like dynamic cloth, this new system is built on top of the XPBD Solver. Add a monkey head, add subdivision surface modifier, and make shade smooth. Go to the Add menu, Curve, and add an empty hair. When you create hair using the new empty hair operator, Blender automatically adds a Capture Rest Geometry modifier to the surface object. This allows the simulation to keep track of how the surface moves relative to its original state. If you select the empty hair object in the outliner, you'll notice that Blender also automatically adds a hair dynamics modifier. This modifier is responsible for simulating the movement and behavior of the hair strands. Before we test the simulation, let's create some hair. Switch to Sculpt mode and use the available hair tools to shape and style the strands as needed. If you'd like to learn how to create realistic hair in Blender, you can check out my tutorial linked above. Now let's switch back to Object mode and play the simulation. You'll notice that the hair doesn't move yet. To enable the simulation, go to the Hair Dynamics modifier and change the mode from Animation to Physics. As soon as you do that, Blender automatically adds the cloth-based simulation setup required for the Hair Dynamics system. Now, if we play the simulation again, you'll see the hair moving naturally. And if we animate the monkey head, the hair will react to the character's motion as well. You can also adjust the bendiness and stretchiness values in the Structure panel to control how the hair behaves during the simulation. As you can see, these new systems are still experimental, but they already show a lot of potential. The new dynamic cloth, dynamic hair, and collider systems introduce a more flexible workflow, deeper geometry nodes integration, and a modern XPBD-based simulation framework. While it's still too early to know exactly where this technology will lead, it could play a major role in the future of Blender's physics tools. I'm really excited to see how these systems evolve in future releases. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on the new physics system. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.